Hi guys, hello. So I'm absolutely knackered today. I had a massive migraine this morning, so I've been trying to sort of keep that calm. My moustache, it does need a bit of going. Obviously, I'm doing this for Movember. I haven't raised any money. I will donate. So if anyone has got a Movember, knows someone is doing Movember or doing a Movember themselves, obviously get them in touch with me and I'll donate to them. I can only do one. I can't do. So if you start giving me about 20 odd names, then I'm only going to choose one to donate to, and it will be basically first come, first serve. So I haven't done many videos simply because I've not really had a subject matter. Then all of a sudden I got a letter in the post, and the letter in the post was regarding my ability to work, why I wasn't working, what makes me not work, and things like this. So obviously I've written down, filled out the forms, and I'm going to be sending it off tomorrow morning. And it's actually got my anxiety up really, really high, because I remember doing it at the beginning of the year, filling out the form in December, and then having an appointment in January to declare if I was fit for work. And I was declared fit for work, and within 3 months of that I'd found a job, and then lost that job because I was struggling with stress. I then had, and I still got bowel issues, but my anxiety really has destroyed me. Now, how much has my anxiety ruined me? Well, since, what are we in now, November, so since August, beginning of August, so that's a good broad 3 months, I've been out of my flat 6 times. 3 of them to my parents, and the other time is because I've needed electric or gas. I'm not actually socialised or anything like that. So yeah, that's how my anxiety really is getting to me. When my anxiety gets hold, my depression then wavers, and this jolly orange t-shirt wearing moustache looking guy, me, starts to panic, starts to think about things, and they're things that I really shouldn't be thinking about. I'm just sort of, this is probably the most clean shaven most of you have seen me in a number of years. In fact, early on the 1st of December, if I actually did it on Halloween. On Halloween, I actually clean shaved, obviously apart from my moustache, and it's the first time I'd use a razor for I'd say about 2 to 3 years, a wet razor, to really get. I've done dry razors and trims and things like this, but not used a wet razor for a long time. Even though I do always purchase one every so often, because I use the other end to sort of help with sculpting my beard. So anyway, where was I? Yes, so as I say, I've not really had much of a subject, and this is one thing I think that most healthcare professionals are aware of, but are probably not tuned into, and that is that when you get a government body telling you that they don't believe your body is doing what it is, and saying that you are definitely fit for work, I'd love to work. I'd love to work every day. I do have plans of my own to actually say to the government, look, fuck you, I'm going to go self-employed because I want to do something else. But at this precise moment, I can't do that because not everything is in place yet. And that doesn't mean that I'm fit for work. It just means that because when the job centre told me that they would only help me for 1 month get to Cambridge, and where I live, okay, it's my fault that I live there, but where I live, getting to Cambridge takes 3 hours. So I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get to work for 7. 9 times out of 10, I would always be late, which was no bother, because the company knew that I lived in a small village or a small town that has a train every half an hour, and I had to get 2 trains. They also knew that I had to get a bus or a taxi from the train station. So there was always an agreement that even though I'm late in the morning, I would do, when I'd have a 15-minute break, I may only have like a 5-minute break. Or I would spread it. So if I was 20 minutes late, I would say, right, I'll take 10 minutes the first break, and then I'll do 10 minutes in the second break, to make it fair to catch up. Or if that wasn't feasible, then I would stay 10 minutes after work. There was no issues. However, when I did 7 till 3 shifts, I was obviously, as I say, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's to get ready and to leave to get to the train station. I wouldn't get home until 6:30, which to some you're probably thinking, well, that's not too bad. Consider I finished at 3:30. Sorry, consider I finished at 3:30 is quite bad. And obviously we know that trains on the Peterborough line and the Cambridge line were about as reliable. Well, probably about as reliable as an old rusty bucket. So yeah, and obviously I then had to do the steps up and down Olsey Station, which completely and utterly decimated my chronic pain in my lower back and my left leg. What would usually be 10 to 15-minute walk on the way home would probably take about half an hour, 35, maybe even, I think at one point, it actually took me 45 minutes because I had to stop, find painkillers, because I would always take spare painkillers whilst I was at work, just in case anything happened. Because obviously I was, I had to use the lift to get to and from the floors. I was on the 3rd floor, and everything that for lunch and things like this was on the ground floor. But there were days where the lifts didn't work, so I'd have to go up and down these steps or stairs. So I'd always take extra painkillers. I'm not supposed to. I'm only supposed to take a set amount a day. And in total, that's 7 painkillers a day. While I was at work, I was actually taking about 11 painkillers, and they weren't touching. Spoke to the doctor. Wasn't interested. He just said, don't take any more than you should do. If you're in extra pain, take some paracetamol. So I did had to buy some paracetamol or Panadol. I have to take Panadol because obviously they don't have the green ones. The fast working ones don't contain caffeine. As you all know, that I don't do caffeine because of my heart, or I try not to do caffeine. There are obviously certain things that contain caffeine that can be in food or drink, and that sort of sometimes is a bit unusual. Like if I want a chocolate bar, chocolate has caffeine in it. So me saying that I live a completely 100% caffeinated diet, decaf diet, is fairly false. I've had over the past month or so, I've had caffeinated tea, I've had caffeinated coffee, and I do actually feel the difference. I had a proper coffee, as everyone calls it, a few weeks ago, and I drink a lot of decaf coffee along with my tea. And I just sat there and I just thought, oh, wow, I can feel that. That's really, really weird. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this video, obviously just to highlight the mental health and how the benefit system can really, really muck about with people's mental health. It's not just myself. There's other people that I've read on the internet and I've heard from word of mouth. That they're filling out these forms, they're having these assessments, and my experience was that person actually lied on my assessment and told me that he saw me running to the centre in Cambridge because I was running late despite me being 20 minutes early. And then in the written report later on said that saw me walk up and down the steps to wait for him in his office because I was early. Exactly. But I still lost, and I thought, fuck it, I'm not going to... my anxiety and depression really, really hit home. I asked help from my local MP and things like this, and it didn't really help at all. So yeah, right. So go back. So the real reason I'm doing this is from the 1st of December, I'm actually going to do a daily diary, and I thought I'd choose December because it's a stressful month. You know, yes, you have that one day exchanging presents, eating a wonderful Christmas dinner, and you get to go to a pub for a couple of hours, and things like this. But the build up to it is actually really stressful. So I wanted to do this diary. It's only going to be for the whole of December, so 31 videos. As I say, each day it will include Christmas Day, Boxing Day, Christmas Eve, and things like this. They will be around lunchtime because what I want to do is I want to gauge my actual mood. There's no point in me waking up and being miserable and going, oh yeah, I didn't really want to wake up. So I'm going to wake up, have breakfast, take my tablets, and then take it from there. About my anxiety levels, my depression issues, if they're there, how bad is the stress? Because stress is a really bad thing when it comes to me. I can get stressed at the slightest thing. I made a ham sandwich yesterday, and it took me about a minute or so to open up the packet of ham, and I got really stressed at it that I actually threw it against the wall, to which then the ham just opened up easily. Don't try that at home, because if the ham goes on the floor, you can't blame me. So yeah, so from the 1st of December, usually around about lunchtime-ish, I will be doing these daily videos. I say I'm just going to do it for the month, to see how good they are. But anyway, thank you very much. Doodle pip.